Hi, my name is Aerica Karriem, your joint venture connection coach, where I teach you all the ins and outs of how to get people to say yes to promote you so that you can increase your exposure and multiply your income. Today I have a very special guest with me, Felicia Streeter. She is the author of Entrepreneur Extraordinaire, and she is the president of Dream for Self International. Hi, Felicia. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on with me.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm just glad to be able to be here today and just share with your audience.
Okay, so, Felicia, you teach work less, make more money, and more freedom. So most entrepreneurs would love to have all three of those. So give us some steps for achieving all of those that I just named.
Sure. I think the biggest thing is for, people to realize in order to have the things that they want, they're going to, have to step into their fortune. So I'm all about stepping into your fortune. And how do you do that is two key elements to that. And one of those is creating the systems that you need in order to make that happen. And so I believe that you have to create the systems not only in your business, but at home as well. And the other part of that is, as you talk about with the joint ventures, is creating those joint ventures. Because I know from personal experience is that creating joint ventures will allow you to expand your list really, really fast. It will allow you to expand your reach and then again make more money. And so when you create the systems along with those joint ventures, well, that's what you get. The work less, make more, have more freedom.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what do you mean when you say keep your eye on the ball?
Oh, I love that. So that's all about one of the systems that I have in the book. You mentioned Entrepreneur Extraordinaire, where I talk about quarterback without touching the ball. Where one of those steps is keeping your eye on the ball. And as business owners, we have to be able to step into being that true visionary leader of our business. Well, one of those steps is as you build your team and you start handing things off, you still have to keep your eye on the ball, meaning you have to oversee those projects and tasks to make sure they're completed on time, on schedule, and with the quality that you want. So you can't just hand it off and then forget about it. You still have to make sure it's in line, they're hitting the milestones so that they get to the completion of the goal. And in my system, we call that the goal line.
Okay, wonderful. Now, what do you tell someone that's ready to make a quantum leap in their business before the new year? What should they be doing?
There's a lot of things they can do, but one of the fastest ways to make that quantum leap is to create those joint ventures, and you know all about that. So, I just did an article recently for a magazine, and I talked about leveraging. And we're taught in business, the first 3 to 5 years is all about you doing everything. Well, why do we have to stick to that system? Why can't we think outside the box? So I say leverage as soon as possible, as fast as you can, and do that by creating those joint ventures. Why? Because you get to leverage other people's resources, assets, and, their client base and all of that to build those lists quickly, expand your reach. And then when that happens, you also have to be prepared to offer those people something of value. And so if you can do that, you can have that quantum leap before the end of the year. It's not too late.
Absolutely. Okay, I like that. Only, because I teach joint ventures, so I'm loving it. Okay, so I heard you say time and time again, people are sabotaging their own success. How are they doing that?
We don't like to hear this, or we don't like to talk about it. It's mindset. A lot of times people just want to address the business side. But if your mind is not correct as far as business and life and money and the whole realm of doing everything, that's one of the ways that you're going to sabotage your business. The other way is having the mindset that you have to do everything yourself. And even when you outsource, a lot of people are scared to do that because they won't do it how they want it done. You know, if I outsource something and I would go left to get it done, what difference does it make if the other person would go right and they get to the same result? You know, so a lot of it is just the mindset, those limiting beliefs, things that we were taught in the past and the old way of doing business. If we can let go of that, open our minds and just be open to what business and the technology has here for us today, then we wouldn't have all these things where we're sabotaging our business like what we're doing here today. We're doing a video interview. You're at your house or in your office, wherever that may be. I'm in my office. Where, you know, we do live close because we found that out. But, I mean, I could be in another country. Technology. And a lot of people won't even grasp that. That little piece is a game changer for your business.
Absolutely. Okay, so when I run into people, they're entrepreneurs, and they just dread their marketing. How do you tell people to simplify their marketing?
I think that's because what goes along with marketing, right, is sales. So you do the marketing, the people come, so now you got to talk to them, have that sales conversation. So that's the one piece of it. But I think what people dread most is the follow-up, because they figure you make that initial contact, you still have to follow up with them. And it can be time-consuming. So I think people dread marketing in the fact that it's a lot of work. It is. It takes up a lot of time. I mean, ideally, I spend about 4 hours a day marketing. Now, a piece of that marketing may be networking, you know, going out talking with people. It could be attending an event or a trade show. But a big piece of it, the major piece, is the follow-up. And that's where people fall short. They do not follow up. And follow-up does not mean contacting somebody one time and then you think that's it. You have to have a system in place around that. So that goes back to the first conversation we had here about the systems. If you create a system around your marketing, then things will go a whole lot smoother. You'll know what to do, when to do, and that's your income producing activity. So really, as long as you get that done, the rest of it will be okay. And part of that follow-up and marketing also involves your joint ventures. You know, you have to market to those people as well and do the follow-up and the same thing, whether it's a joint venture partner you're looking for or a client.
Absolutely. And I love when you say that you don't have, listen, everyone, you don't have to be doing this alone. Hire a subcontractor. Hire someone to do this stuff for you. So, Felicia, you are on point with everything that you're saying. Now, do you have any upcoming events or any programs that we should know about?
I sure do. I have one. It starts this November, and it's called Step Into Your Fortune. And so we're gonna talk about the joint venture success secrets. So we're gonna talk about building your list fast, you know, expanding your reach and making more money. And so what I'm gonna cover there is that irresistible offer that you need to have. So that's going to be compelling once we're done. Then we're going to talk about clarity, building clarity around what you're worth. Because you need to know what you bring to the table. And I'll guarantee you, if you go to the table with a joint venture partner and you don't know your worth, they're going to place a worth on you that you don't want. And then we're also going to talk about connections, how to build those connections with the joint venture partners. And then after that, we're going to go into evolving in your business as far as maximizing every opportunity. And there's some key things I think you need to have in place in order to do that. So when you set up the joint venture, why are you doing it? What do you want out of it? What do you want that joint venture partner to bring to the table? And the last piece is the expanding and looking at that deal. So it's all about create your best deal. So what I'm looking for in a joint venture may not be the same thing that you're looking for. But there's 3 key areas that every person needs to look at in every joint venture deal. And we're going to talk about that, share that, so that when they're done with this 5-week, it's a 5-week telecourse series, so they can do it from the comfort of their home, no babysitters, daycare, don't have to worry about any of that stuff. And it's going to be recorded that they'll have their system for creating joint ventures. And they'll be ready to go out and make a deal in 90 days or less. That's the transformation that they're going to have. And so at the end of the day, they're going to expand that list, expand their reach, and make more money.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, now everyone knows that when they interview with me, I give them 3 trivia questions. Ready or not? Here I go.
Okay, shoot them out. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, so outside of family and work, what is Felicia Streeter passionate about?
Today, right now, a couple of things. They're all about me. One is I love to exercise, and so I'm very adamant about that, and I really picked it up this year. That was a transformational thing for me, is just how it makes you feel. So I exercise on a regular basis, and I'm seeing the results, and that's part of knowing my self-worth. And I tell you what, actually it helped me build up my self-worth. So you'll be amazed at the little things that we can do that we're passionate about, that's our hobbies, that will also affect our business, because it's allowed me to charge more, charge what I'm worth. And the other thing that I'm passionate about is I love to write. So, I do have a problem with writing long articles sometimes because I just love to write. But, I'm also writing, and, actually me and my husband, we're going to shoot some documentary films. So we're getting into the film industry, entering our films into the film festivals and things like that. So we're writing, directing, producing our own stuff. And so that's really, really fun. So that's a hobby. Actually, yes, it's a money maker too. I guess everything we do just about makes money, but the exercising is all about me.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So where do you plan to travel on a family vacation, or even just maybe with your friends within the next year?
You know what? I have places I plan to travel. One of the things, I try to keep it to a minimum in a sense, because I do so much traveling on the business side. And so a lot of times, especially if my son's out of school, then we'll just stay a little longer somewhere when we're on a business trip. But we've been talking about it. Everybody, actually, they want to go this Christmas back to Hawaii. So that's one of our favorite spots, is Hawaii. And then, of course, when it's a little cool here, it's still warm there. But I tell you what, I would love to, in the next year, probably go somewhere, I think maybe Tahiti or something, because I want to go where they have that clear blue water. So I want to go check that out, and on the beach somewhere.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Felicia, and give me 3 words that describe you.
You know what? I'm going to pull this. Well, let me tell you what I think, and then I'm going to tell you. I actually have a mentor as well. We all have mentors, and I'm going to tell you what they found out about me. But I think, one of the things about me is I'm a nurturer, and but I'm able to hold people accountable, help them implement. But I'm a nurturer. I'm very driven, and I'm very compassionate, sometimes probably too much. But my mentor took me through a process what she calls branding with archetypes, and this is what she found out about me. So the major one is that I'm a ruler. And when I heard that, I'm like, I don't want to be a ruler. People think I want to be in control of everything and all of this stuff, right? But I read what it said, and then I said, you know what? I am a ruler. And even at one of our workshops with some of the other people in there, they were like, you're like the queen of implementing. And that's part of being the ruler. She was like, you can give people the structure, crack that whip when you need to, but you can also do it lovingly. So my next archetype is I'm a romantic. So go figure. So you have the ruler, but I'm a romantic. So I can rule over you, but do it in a loving way. And you know that I care, right? You know that I'm compassionate and I want to see you succeed. And that's what it says about the ruler. And then the last one said that I'm a hero. It had a split tie. And it said I'm a hero and a teacher. And I said, yes, that's me, because I love to teach and train, share my knowledge with other people. My thing, I have a movement that I'm starting here, and it's all about stepping to your fortune. And what I'm trying to do is help as many women entrepreneurs as possible change the game, not only for themselves, but for their families and their generations to come. And I'm doing that by sharing my lessons learned in the several businesses that I have, as well as, my knowledge. So I'm sharing all of that. So it's all about this movement. And it all goes back to, again, being that nurturer. I do it lovingly. So being that romantic, I care about people, so I have, that mixture, but I guess it works well for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Felicia, how can people get a hold of you?
Sure. So I'm out there on the web, of course. So for the traditional people, you can reach me. I'll give you my office number and my email. So my office number is 214-997-1330. And then my email is info at FeliciaStreeter.com. So that goes into the techie people now. My website address is FeliciaStreeter.com. I'm on the social sites. I'm on Twitter, and that handle is at Felicia Streeter. I have a Facebook fan page, and that is Dream for Self, the number 1. So that's Dream, DREAM, the number 4, and then Self, SELF, number 1. And then I have, of course, the personal page on Facebook, which is Felicia Streeter. For the career people, I'm on LinkedIn, and that's Felicia Streeter. And then for those that like to see me live and in person, I'm on YouTube as well, and that's at Dream for Self. So again, DREAM, the number 4, SELF.
Okay, Dream for Self, Felicia Streeter. Well, Felicia, thank you so much for coming on with me. This was really, really fun. I had a great time.
Well, thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking with you, and I hope that at the very least, these, the people that's listening in, you go out and take action on at least one of the things that we talked about here today. At least decide and take action. And a lot of times when I write articles, I always like to give people an assignment. So I always say, here's your assignment if you choose to accept it. And so for you guys out there, at least decide to take that quantum leap. You still have time this year to do something to take your business to the next level. And me and America, we like to talk about the joint venture. So, look into it. Find out more about joint ventures. Learn about it. It is the fastest way to grow your business by leveraging the assets and resources of other people. And you don't have to do all the work. So you want that freedom? That's a way to get some of that freedom back, make more money, and definitely work less because you're splitting the work.
Okay, wonderful. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aerica Karriem, your joint venture connection coach. I'm at www.makingmillionswithjvpartners.com. Again, that's www.makingmillionswithjvpartners.com. Until next time, bye.
Bye.